hello.
Hello.
What are the latest trends in Neurotech? And where is the field heading? If you are aiming for a career in Neurotech, staying updated on the latest developments is crucial. Employers want to hear what you know. One of the best ways to do this is by attending the Society for Neuroscience SFN meeting, the biggest neuroscience event of the year. But it's understandable that attending isn't always feasible due to time, travel, or financial constraints. So, what can you do? No worries, we've got you covered. Thank you for joining us today at Neurocareers News and Live Q&As, latest trends in Neurotech from SFN. In this episode of Neurocareers News Series, we're bringing you the freshest updates straight from the SFN meeting. And please welcome our guest today, Dr. Ilya Piatnitskiy, co-director of the Neurotech Lab at UT Austin and founder of Neurawear. Welcome, Ilya.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for joining. And would you mind briefly introducing yourself to our viewers today? Thank you.
Yes, certainly. Yeah, that's great to be here, and thank you again for inviting. Yeah, I'm Ilya Piatnitskiy. So as Milena told, currently co-director of Neurotech Lab. It's Wonk Lab. One of Wonk is our PI. So in our lab, we are focusing on developing novel wearable, non-invasive technologies for recording stimulation of neural activity for various applications, and we are using different technologies for this. So we're working on different directions. Examples of these technologies, like our novel hydrogel electrodes and wearable ultrasound transducers, and our novel like hydrogel and the headsets. Different stuff. And also, we do have kind of more biologic direction with developing of novel nanoparticles for drug delivery, gene delivery. And so what we are also very passionate about, trying to combine those two. So electronics, biologics, and develop something very interesting in between. Yeah, I'm originally I'm original doctor radiologist, but through all my previous experience, I kind of combined three directions. So more clinical practice, and so second direction like more research, and third direction about startups and technologies, and also previously founded a couple of early stage medtech startups. And probably right now this also in my current development, this also one of the main goal. So actually to develop new technologies and try to commercialize them and go to market with some great products.
Sounds absolutely amazing. And for those who want to learn more about Ilya's career and career development and challenges he went through and how he overcame those, that can be very useful for those who are pursuing careers in Neurotech. You can listen to Ilya's podcast episode on Neurocareers Doing the Impossible. So I will add a link also into the chat so you can listen. And I also want to know that it's a live Q&A event, so please add your questions into a chat and we will be happy to answer them for you. So Ilya, how was your experience at SFN? We know that SFN is the largest neuroscience event in the world. I think around 30,000 people participated this year. So what was your impression? How did you like it?
Yeah, that was wonderful, certainly wonderful. And again, so that was my first time at SFN. I certainly knew for many years what was it and what is it about. Yeah, but now again, so that was my first experience. I think that's one of probably the best events and the best possible what we have right now in the world. And still, so this like after COVID time, right? So and during COVID we had like different agenda, different reality. But I think that is still super important. We are still humans. Super important to meet and talk because in online formats they're great. They're great. They're very convenient and very easy and affordable. But you just losing maybe around 50%, 40% in effectiveness and communication, in effectiveness of your conversation. And so specifically about SFN, yeah, so this is great concentration, very dense environment of brilliant minds from the whole world, and kind of constant sharing of ideas like during a week. And certainly I think most exciting things actually happening in poster sessions, where people can not just listen but actually communicate and go into details. So kind of you don't have like just 1-2 minutes to ask something, right, and then don't have a chance to catch a speaker after his lecture, for instance, right? So you can just go into details with people from different countries, institutions, working in like different directions, and find collaborations, find new inspiration, new ideas. Yeah, so SFN was certainly great. But more specifically, if you want to already to like go deeper, like to some trends, right?
Yes. So I would like to know more about your specific presentations because I think they're very much in line with what we are talking today about. We are talking about latest trends, and I think what you do definitely corresponds to the latest trends in Neurotech.
That's true. That's true. A very high alignment. Yeah, and I was happy about that. Kind of
Yes.
proof
So
again. Yeah.
would you like to start with the long-term high-quality sleep EEG monitoring with the air trod? So, and this, yes, I think that's a great start, and then we will move to other, I think, very exciting projects you'll present.
Yeah, this is so AirTrot, our novel hydrogel electrode. This is really great technology, and I think very promising, with a huge potential for different applications. And my teammate and now CTO also of our startup Neuroware, Leon Xi, developed this, and kind of the main engineer who was working and assessing this technology. So we already published a couple of papers and published also the most recent paper in Cell Device Journal about these electrodes, composition, fabrication, and application for sleep recording. We demonstrated also, I think, some great results. We also had a chance to compare our electrodes with other electrodes in the market and research electrodes, and were grateful for the results we received. So we achieved one of the best, and in some characteristic, the kind of the best result in the field. The electrodes, these electrodes kind of let you get very high signal quality and can work up to a month or more. And so this means that this kind of technology, these electrodes, very suitable and convenient for wearable application, for wearable devices, and we can use electrodes for recording, for simulation. There are different possible applications we are thinking about, different diseases, different fields. And so the first one, which we kind of focused and started and tried to develop the product, to develop and commercialize the product through our new Neurawear startup, is for stroke rehabilitation. So we are developing actually technology for stroke rehabilitation on the go, how we call this. And this consists of two parts: brain-computer interface and functional stimulation for arm. Yeah, so previously the technology was demonstrated as effective to facilitate stroke recovery. But right now it's limited to clinical settings and it's really costly. So we wanted to improve this and shift to like home application and actually also to develop on-the-go rehabilitation. Thus, the patient is not like tied to clinical setting or to his desk to his home. Yeah, so that was the first poster we presented regarding these electrodes. And so again, electrodes, and that work for sleep recording. Second work was...
Ilya, before you start with the second one,
Yep.
I will just ask you a little bit about these electrodes. Can you maybe briefly tell us where the field of developing electrodes is heading? So what's going on in the field? Why there is this new developments of electrodes like with hydrogel? Why
Yeah.
is it needed? How it corresponds to the newest demands that we see
Right.
in the
Sure.
field of neurotech?
Yeah, I think that is this is very important direction, and we probably will talk a bit more also later about this because it's actually directly related to trends and BCI, which is like super hot right now, became even hotter for the last weeks, and yeah, I think the main demand is that novel, non-invasive, and effective and affordable interfaces are required, are needed. And so specifically talking like about a brain-computer interface, right now the most trendy companies like Neuralink, Synchron, and Paradromics. So they are still invasive, and so certainly they will further continue developing, improving their invasive technologies. And yeah, I think that's great, and that's so awesome what they're doing, and it's actually fantastic what they already achieved and what it can be achieved further. But the thing is that I still think there would be a huge barrier for scaling of their, not for scaling. So there certainly would be huge application, like medical application of the devices, but maybe for more severe case. I am personally not sure yet how many patients with like mild disorder or like some sleep problems, for instance, or something like this. How many patients would love to implant something like into the brain or into their vessel? And certainly also then if we're talking about like more consumer product, the product for like lifestyle and like to improve your sleep, to regulate maybe your emotions, to improve your attention, so things like this. Right now, I'm almost sure that not many people actually would love to implant something inside, and also I think it's actually kind of scary. So the thing, especially when we're thinking about combination of these technologies with AI, and what would be the possibilities of AI later on, and the risks that we can see, that we can face, or maybe something closer to control of our mind or something like this. I know that's probably right now this seems something crazy and not achievable, but come on, like if you so most of us were thinking that kind of the landing of the rocket that we've seen recently, like last week's that Starship demonstrated was also impossible, right? But yeah, here we are. So yeah, I think that many things are really possible, and we still don't know the borders of the AI implementation in many fields. So yeah, I think that for these reasons, non-invasive BCI, very important direction, and certainly so the barrier for large-scale implementation distribution worldwide for different applications is much better, more promising than compared to implantable systems. And electrodes, novel electrodes technologies, kind of the core of this technology, and it's very important certainly to develop and to improve further. But yeah, we can touch now this a bit. The thing is that, and I'm kind of thinking for last month also quite a lot about this. What is actually the requirement to the technology? Because for me, it's right now it's not so clear. So I mean to the electrodes, because certainly right now non-invasive electrodes have like not enough signal quality and precision, and like not usually or in many cases not very high, like accuracy, reliability, and quite big latency. So all this very important, right? And so, but the thing is that going back to again to AI algorithm that can be implemented here. So I feel and I think that maybe the more focus now should be on great AI algorithm development for data analysis to enhance signal processing and implementation, like algorithm like adaptive filtering or convolutional neural networks, so something like this. And for actually for all the process, all the work that need to be done for feature extraction and pattern recognition, and also more like real-time adaptation. So these things. So right now it's not, for me, it's not actually clear what is the very specific requirement to the technology, to EEG technology, electrodes technology, because we don't know we don't know yet what are the possibilities of AI algorithm in this application.
Ilya, if just to summarize, what is available right now in terms of electrodes? For example, passive silver chloride electrodes, yes, that we know for decades already. Now we also see still passive but sponge-like electrodes, like we have. Then the new development is active electrodes. Yes. That may use gel, but also there are hybrid electrodes, the same active electrodes, but they can be used and with gel and without gel. So those are the main, at least that I am aware of, that can be used for wearables, for BCIs.
Certainly dry electrodes also, right?
Yes, dry electrodes.
With many limitations there.
Yes. So where are the electrodes that your lab is developing? Where do they fit in all this variety of electrodes? And what is their advantage?
Yes, somewhere in between gel electrodes and dry electrodes. So they would feature the quality of gel electrodes, which are great, but kind of older technology and working for a couple of hours and mainly limited again to clinical settings and not really suitable for at-home application. And then dry electrodes, which are very convenient and kind of being used in different products, consumer products we have right now, but they're very limited in terms of signal quality, especially during activity. So if the person try like move and do some movements, the signal quality dropping drastically. So our electrodes are somewhere in between them. Again, very high signal quality that's possible to keep for many weeks. And also what is very important, that can be used again and again. And so we demonstrated its application up to 20-30 times. So it's possible to take it off and wear it on again.
Reusable.
Yeah, reusable.
Okay. Excellent. So I think you will talk a little bit more about those electrodes still when you talk about wearable neuromodulation, yes, with bioadhesive hydrogel.
Sure.
So let's talk about that. Especially neuromodulation is really a huge trend right now.
Yes.
So I think you are again on top of that curve. Yes. Okay. Let's talk about
So that's true. So probably again, BCI would be the first trend right now, as I feel, and so based also on the conference. And also, I didn't mention yet, but there was a huge report in the last day of the conference by JP Morgan, and that's even made the whole field hotter, and like with this huge assessments for 400 billion. Just for medical application, I guess, in the US for brain-computer interface. I think that was also kind of huge sign for the whole field. But then, so we can talk later a bit more about that. But then, so second thing, and also what was discussed a lot on the conference is for neuromodulation, and with specific focus in many cases in non-invasive technologies, and more specifically, and what is more promising right now, most likely focused ultrasound, because focused ultrasound kind of solving limitations of other technologies like magnetic stimulation, electric stimulation, and so we can reach very deep brain regions and with kind of small focal spot, and so do really precise kind of specific stimulation. And so in our lab, we're working on the developing of wearable ultrasound transducers, and we presented that work. One of possible application and one of our main activities right now in the lab is our current DARPA-funded project designed. So in the project, we were developing a wearable device, kind of one side attaching to one side. Wearable device consists of ultrasound transducer in the center and mainly electrodes around. The device is to treat sleep disorder, so specifically REM sleep disorder, and so we aiming to stimulating the deep brain region subthalamic nucleus, STN, and we're using this. So in this device, we're combining basically two of our technologies, wearable ultrasound and our electrodes, like electrodes, what I just talked recently, for recording of sleep patterns, and so we're using EEG electrodes, also EMG, EOG for oculography. Right. So yeah, we'll need all this to determine sleep stages, right? Because we need to record, we need to monitor, we need to stimulate in the correct time. Again, using AI most likely. and to like figure out to understand what was actually the effect of our simulation, and if we are improving something, if we're improving REM sleep, and increasing the quality. Yeah, so this is just example of this work. But these, again, there are a lot of great promising applications. What we're looking for, what we're interested in right now is, I think, epilepsy, Parkinson, mental disorders like depression. Yeah, so those are fields very promising for this.
Thank you so much. And again, let's talk a little bit about this. And because up to a certain time, we were not able to stimulate the deep structures with the non-invasive technologies. Yes.
Yeah.
Now you are talking about ultrasound and possibility to really go deep, stimulate subthalamic nucleus. Yes, and quite precise. So how can we do it now? Why ultrasound allows us to do this, what wasn't possible before with TMS, let's say. Yes, and also you are talking about this being as a wearable device. Yes, so it's not a device that people need to come in and get that TMS done, but something you can wear and that would be stimulating the brain. So can you just pinpoint those innovations in the approaches and how these innovations came to place? What made it possible?
Yeah, so ultrasound for like ultrasound transducers. So this is not like something super novel in our case. So these technologies and kind of transducers with these possibilities already in the market, developed with some smaller companies, I think, but still people trying to find the correct applications and what are the requirements for these technologies, and so still this field very early, and I think one of most important barrier, and what also was discussed on SFN, is for regulation and FDA approval. And so, for instance, company Open Water, which is very interesting company, and who are also developing wearable device, and also including ultrasound transducer for the brain stimulation. So they like maybe half year ago, they became non-profit, but I mean, so it was just kind of a regular startup before, then become non-profit, and my feel that yeah, maybe that was also kind of discussed, posted somewhere online, that one of the main reasons was due to these current FDA regulation struggles and difficulties, and that probably the field is not there yet, but would be there very soon. And maybe what they're, because they are right now, they transfer to research grade technology, and I think that they want to kind of to push the whole field forward by kind of giving this technology to different labs in the country and maybe in the world, to explore better, to get more data, and try for the different applications, for the different clinical applications. Yeah, so I think all this kind of science also very important for the field development. So the technology probably already there, or very close to what is needed, what is required. But yes, still it first need to be, I mean, for specifically transducer, right, for stimulation. But still there is the question how to do this wearable, convenient, how to do the correct headset, and to achieve the stability, because stability is super important there. Kind of you, especially when you're focusing something deeper, with just some slightly movement, the angle will change a lot already, and so we'll just miss target, right? And also then going to like using AI for, I mean, using recording, maybe EEG recording or something similar for the feedback, right? To do the closed loop system, and using then AI, real-time AI algorithm for to monitor and to tune the stimulation and to stop stimulation if there is some mistargeting or something like this, right? Yeah.
Yes, great. Thank you for all these details. Of course, it's interesting what causes FDA still to be cautious about this type of stimulation. Was there a discussion? What is the reason for that at the moment?
Yeah. I think, yeah, so still certainly the safety concerns, but so certainly we are, I mean, FDA approved ultrasound many years ago, right? Already. But for diagnostic ultrasound, certainly. And when research groups also can developing and trying to apply something in human, they also try declaring that they will not, they will use kind of close or the same ultrasound parameters and kind of will deliver the same energy, right? And to keep these safety requirements, right? But yeah, I think that. And also what also need to be added that actually FDA already approved a couple of years ago using ultrasound, high intensity ultrasound to treat like tremor and to treat Parkinson, but it's another application for ablation, right? But so I think that because because this is neurostimulation. So first concern is that there would be heating still, and like more energy would be needed to be delivered to be effective, and so this kind of difficult also to control right now and to make sure that it's safe, and also because still not enough, because more early stages, not enough data, just not enough published data, not enough clinical studies. And then second thing is just because neurotechnology and not enough data, so we don't know for possible side effects of kind of these side ultrasound effects of this neurostimulation, because the neurostimulation mechanism is certainly different as we think right now, because we don't know yet what is exactly the mechanism. There are many hypotheses. So, but most likely that is different from electrostimulation, so deep brain stimulation. Yeah, so just I think bunch of possible concerns that they are worried about. Most likely they just need more data and more research groups working on that.
Yes, yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I think the third project that you mentioned was your own startup, Neurawear presentation. Yes?
No, we didn't present anything there.
You didn't. Okay, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we discussed certainly also with different people that are like also for possible collaborations or something. Yeah, but we're not presented yet.
Okay, okay. Anything else that you want to mention? You presented, maybe you received some feedback, some trends that.
Yeah. I'm also this also kind of to open the. Open a bit about some my take or our direction that I mentioned in the start regarding combination of electronics and biologics. So the project is regarding our novel SONA optogenetics technology to treat Parkinson's in animal model, in rat model. That was my project. I was doing like my first years here in UT together with my great brilliant colleagues, teammates. And so briefly, there is well-known optogenetics technology where we can stimulate neural activity with optical fibers. But we still, and so we can achieve with this very specific stimulation like subpopulation neurons in specific brain region. But for optogenetics, fiber implantation required, right? And so we developed non-invasive technology. So optogenetics, it consists of three parts: ultrasound transducer, and then nanoparticles, mechanism set nanoparticles, and third part is also opsense. So the same part is in optogenetics, so light sensitive proteins, light sensitive channels. Yeah, and we applied, we tried, so we developed this and tried this technology to treat Parkinson. So previously it was published in Nature Communication or Neuroscience. It was published that optogenetic stimulation of specifically paralbumin expressing neurons of GPE, globus pallidus externa, it helped to restore Parkinsonian movement symptoms. And so globus pallidus externa, the brain region, not very large, but includes kind of many different neurons, different subpopulations of neurons, right? And so they compared the application like between general stimulation of GPE and specifically paralbumin expressing neurons, in demonstrating that PV neuron stimulation was much more effective than general stimulation. And so what we did, we actually did the same work, but first in rats, in rat Parkinsonian model, and second, we used our non-invasive technology. Yeah, and we demonstrated that it's improved quite significantly, maybe up to 50-70% in those movement tests, behavioral movement tests we did. So we did two tests: cylinder test and apomorphine induced rotation tests. Yeah, but this is just briefly kind of as an example what also we're interested in what we're working on in our lab.
Yes, absolutely. Amazing research. I think your lab is really on top of the latest developments. And maybe now you can summarize the latest trends that you noticed in Neurotech in general that you saw at the conference.
Right, sure. So certainly, again, number one would be the BCI. So my first place, and again, so there was just on the final day of the conference, I just started to see a lot of posts on LinkedIn, colleagues posting like about that JP Morgan report. So again, with some huge numbers, huge potential of the market, and so also kind of analyzing different current companies and trends. And so they certainly highlighted the current stars like Neuralink and Synchron and Paradromics, and kind of the current top leaders developing invasive technologies. Synchron would be, many of you probably know, less invasive, as it's like vessel. So like stent, they're implanted into the vessel that lets the person to control computer cursor using his mind, his thoughts, briefly talking. But then, so this is very important, and I think that, so first think about this, that there is already almost 100 years of research in brain-computer interface, with some very early kind of steps development to the current stage. And I feel that right now is actually the best time possible to work in this field and develop something. And yeah, I'm super bullish here and super optimistic about this. And I feel that so next years, if we don't have the kind of any next black swan, I hope that all we finally have some rest, and the whole world will have some rest from the current wars and all things going on. So if there is nothing crazy going on, that the BCI would become one of the largest trend in the whole innovation ecosystem, like startup ecosystem. And so it would be very similar to something we've seen just this year, last year about AI. And like starting with OpenAI, ChatGPT, and with all other technologies and implementation. And so I think this would be super trendy, super hot, and many investors already. So kind of not really qualified investors, not tech investors, now starting to explore more and more this field, and especially because of the recent rate cut, and most likely we'll have another one rate cut. We'll see how election goes. That's also important, and the outcomes of that. But yeah, I am again super bullish about this, and think that there would be a lot of new investments and a lot of new technologies and interesting startups working on this. And I feel that specifically AI development, so they should be more have to be more new interesting startups in specifically focusing on AI developing for BCI. Probably they would collaborating with existing BCI companies, or this would be just more focus of the current or like new departments directions of the current BCI companies. Or so certainly also we should remember about corporates like Meta, Apple, and all of their interest in that. So they probably would also invest a lot and continue to develop this inside. Yeah, I think this just naturally super hot trend number one. Then number two would be, I think, so the BCI specifically number one, and number two, AI implementation and kind of combining AI and BCI. So it can be also kind of also a separate trend. But then also certainly I feel that shifting to wearable, non-invasive devices for different application. So shift toward more accessible, wearable, and AI-driven neurotechnologies. So combination of these three features, characteristics. Again, for different applications, for recording, for stimulation of neural activity. So actually, but basically what we discussed before as an example, focused ultrasound, but also other stimulation technologies. But the combination of focused ultrasound and EEG seems to me very promising here. So next trend would be developing of novel neuroimaging and like portable technologies and neuroimaging, and fMRI certainly still is super important and would continue to further improve and develop. And again, I feel AI would be massively used also there because already even without improving the hardware and protocols, existing protocols, if we implement some better AI algorithm, most likely we would have much more data already, very useful data. Yeah, and maybe the last trend, I think, about neuroplasticity and some cognitive enhancement. So shifting to throw this direction, like exploration more. What is it like again, like and diving deeper into the mechanism, if it's possible, and how it's possible, how we can improve this, how we can facilitate neuroplasticity, because neuroplasticity is the key in many disorders. Um yeah, and probably the last trend would be about regulation and about ethics. This is, and again, this is actually very close to AI adoption and AI scale and increase. As remember, there were many talks and still going on the regulation and ethics. So the same way, it's already going on. It would be a very important topic in neurotech.
Great insights, great summary, very clear directions where we are heading. Thank you so much for that, Ilya. I just want to encourage our viewers send their questions, so please do. We received some nice comments. Violeta Tolciano wrote that it's an interesting talk and a wonderful guest. Then we have also a note from Rustam Aliyev, who says that this is a great insight. So people are really enjoying this conversation. So please send questions. We will be happy to answer them. And now I would like to talk about career opportunities. So based on these new trends, there should be a demand in certain skills that people possess and can contribute to the field. So what, in your opinion, are those skills that are needed and will be needed down the road based on this type of trends that you mentioned?
Yeah, sure. I mean, here we'll probably need to just look into technology and parts of the technology or of the products, right? So we have hardware, we have software, and we have something in between, like in integration. I think actually the best positioned engineers would be who can combine effectively both of these. Certainly, yeah, maybe more focusing on like soft part or hard part, but still understanding quite into details how it works and how it should be combined. And again, about this, what we discussed before, what are the, so for instance, for the technology, what are the requirements, and how much we actually need to develop more the technology, and maybe instead of like further developing and testing, maybe try to work more with different AI algorithms and implement, right? And yeah, but I think again, just universal rule: be very flexible, be very open-minded, and try to learn like daily, constantly, learn about new things, new opportunities. And this is already super crazy fast world right now, and it's just changing like every day. So cannot um, uh, we cannot afford ourselves like to sit with the same set of knowledge what we had like year ago or like month ago. We should just keep checking the trends, and maybe finding new people, new collaborations, new insights. And I think also because I told that already that BCI would be already like super hot, would be hotter. So the competition naturally would be also very high. It's already quite high, the competition, but it will be like just increase like double, triple times. And I think that correct collaboration is very important here. And so from my understanding, instead of having like many like smaller research teams or companies, it would be beneficial for everyone to find great collaboration and combine together. Like you can combine force like in research groups or companies, right? And just, I mean, go is an example hardware company and AI company who are interested in like medtech and BC application. Combine your force and do great stuff together. That would be much more productive. Yeah, so feel something like this. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, the conference, as we discussed, is huge. Yes, 30,000 people. It's not a small circle like we would go to the brain computer interface conference where we can all sit at the tables during dinner or lunch and network and discuss. So, what would be your recommendations to make the best out of a huge event if someone goes to it? What strategies do you recommend using, especially in terms of networking, which you said is important
Yeah.
for creating collaborations, yes, which
Yeah,
we need
sure.
to do. So what would be your recommendations?
Yeah, actually, as for every important thing or task in your life, the preparation, good preparation is the key. And so, yeah, not just arriving to the conference without any information what's going on, like section speakers who are attending there and so on, right? And then try to figure out on the place. So, yeah, SFN organizers and administrators, I think are doing great job and helping with different things and like for instance application that they have like a app where you can pick like most interesting things like what you should attend, what you need to do, but so yeah, going through just as again any conference, going through program and picking up the most interesting sections and posters, directions, and then. But still, I mean, even after that, you will have something going simultaneously, right? But yeah, in this case, just try to prioritize and also kind of mark. So if you miss something, mark because it's after conference you can check all this and watch these things online. So even if you miss something during the conference, that's also works great. Yeah, and just go and talk to not just like try. I understand that it would be difficult for some people or for many people uh, 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 just come and start like talking or like asking question. Yeah, but yeah, this is very important. And yeah, there most of people there are like super friendly and eager to share their results and discuss possible projects, combined projects, collaborations, and so on. Yeah, so go and talk to people in most important posters and exhibition. I think so. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And sometimes you can even talk to people in advance. You can, if you know that the person is present at the
Yep.
conference and it's in line with what you are doing, you want to communicate, you can contact the person in advance and maybe even to set up certain time because the pace of the conference is very fast. So it's
Yeah.
the preparation, advanced preparation, like you said, is the key
Hmm.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, so the online platforms and like your online presence certainly helps a lot. So yeah, recommendation to start this online presence if you don't have yet, or develop it further and grow it further. and keep posting things time to time. Keep people updated on what you're doing and like your plans, results, thoughts, ideas, and then how you're using this to prepare to the conference. What one can do, for instance, write. So first, like, kind of mention that you're planning to go there. You're happy to meet and chat, and like write the summary of your ongoing projects or things you're like most passionate right now. So kind of to attract new connections and set up meeting in advance.
Yes, yes. So, and are you suggesting to do it, for example, online or on LinkedIn to
Mhm.
provide your update, and then people see what you are doing, and they also might contact you. So you're making people aware of the things you do.
Yeah. I mean, so this certainly takes time, but yeah, if you wanted to prepare, like for instance, for next year SFN, it's great time right now to start like be more active online and like post on things and leave some comments, talk to people online, and kind of start preparation to the next SFN.
Yes, absolutely. And I think this is one of the ways to stand out
Mhm.
as a potential employer to
Yeah.
employee to the employers, which many people are asking me about as a Neurocareers coach. People are saying I'm sending all these resumes and letters, and nobody replies. So how to stand out? Yes, how to make myself visible. So that's one of the
Yeah.
ways how
Yeah.
to create
Yeah.
that visibility. Yes, great tips,
Yeah,
great
you
suggestions.
the best way is actually to turn this situation in opposite direction. So you should become like interesting to people around. Thus, not your writing constantly and like asking for job opportunities, but rather they will text you and suggest some collaborations or even job.
Yes, great tip. Oh, thank you so much, Ilya. That was very insightful conversation. So many great tips, very clear tendencies you outlined, and amazing research you and your lab are doing. As we're nearing the end of our session today, do you have anything to add? Maybe we missed something. Maybe you have still something to share before we end.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think we covered everything. Yeah, just the final note is, I think what I also mentioned last time we were talking to you. It's very important to kind of stay alive, energetic, and passionate about things. If you feel that you're not passionate, not have much motivation, go and try to find something else. Yeah, maybe there are other like interesting directions, opportunities for you. So in certainly conferences like SFN helping on this and like find new insights or inspiration a lot. So certainly recommend also try chance and visit this conference. There are also, so if there are like financial things, there are also a lot of different grants. It can be like your local university grants, it can be SFN grants or other conference grants. So it can be some private money. Yeah, just go and talk to people and look for opportunities.
Yes, thank you so much. Great advice. So, our main point is communicate, collaborate, find something that you are passionate about. And also, that can be done not only at this huge event, there are local journals clubs at universities, a different lab. I remember each lab would have, some type of journal club. Join one, yes, talk to people, present, see what people present. So you can start small and you don't need much finances at all
Yeah.
for that. So you
You
can.
can, yeah, if you're in university and you don't have, for instance, group of your interest, you can start yourself. And
Yes.
why it's not a problem at all. Like recently in UT, Longhorn Neurotech, like student organization started, and it's already huge, maybe one of the largest. They are very active, and yeah, I really enjoy what they're doing. So if you don't have something similar in your place, just start, and you'll find interesting people around you. Maybe you do something together.
Yes, absolutely. The same, it was very good example at University of Central Florida, the second largest university, I think, in the States. There was nothing in neuroscience, so there was no program, neuroscience-based program, and students started their own neuroscience society, and then
That's super cool.
blooming. So take initiative in your own hands. That's our advice. Okay, thank you very much, Ilya. Sheila Thielen also said thank you here on the chat. So we had engaged audience. They just didn't send questions. Probably everything was very clear. That's also awesome, but we received very nice feedback. So thank you to everyone who was listening to us, and we will continue with our updates and Neurocareers news. So please stay tuned. So